Okay, choir, stand by. President Kennedy and Jackie will be coming through that door any second now. Robes zipped, good posture, smiling faces, eyes up here. Okay, here they come. Ready, and...
50 years ago, in 1962, Minnesota found its chapter of the American Choral Directors Association.
50 years. It's been 50 years since Harvey Waugh was appointed the first of 24 Minnesota state presidents of the American Choral Director Association in 1962. Minnesotan Curtis Hanson was one of the 7 original founders, and, with Murray Frang and Olaf Christensen, the trio were charter members when National ACDA was founded in 1959.
His plan was to have ACDA, including at least 2 people from each state. He wanted a college person, and he had Olaf Christensen lined up, and it ended up Kurt Hansen, my good friend, and myself were representatives from Minnesota.
Now, not much happened in that first decade. Most of the ACDA activities in Minnesota were limited to sessions and meetings at the annual MMEA Midwinter Clinic. One session of special interest in 1970 was the panel on the solo voice, which was well received. After 10 years, ACDA of Minnesota finally took wing in 1972. Wayne Kivel, the energetic new state president, had volunteered Minnesota and all of its 66 members to host the 1978 Division Convention. The time had come to step on stage. He assembled a steering committee that worked diligently to pick up the tempo and get organized. A whirlwind of growth took place. The first state board was organized, 6 regional districts were created, and student chapters were formed. A column was written for MMEA's Gopher Music Notes. The 2-page Star of the North newsletter was launched. Anyone remember the smell of a mimeograph? And membership doubled from 66 to 132. In 1974, the inaugural F. Milius Christiansen Lifetime Achievement Award was presented to Leland B. Sadarin of Augsburg College at the very first state convention. Christiansen had been and continues to be a major influence in Minnesota music tradition. His compositions and pioneering a cappella choral technique brought the Norwegian immigrant and St. Olaf College international recognition. This prestigious award is given annually to recognize members who shine in advancing Minnesota choral music. And the list of recipients is a remarkable sampling of the talent and resources found among this chapter's members. In 1978, the Minnesota chapter, now 430 strong, hosted their first big event, the North Central Division Convention. A strong program of concerts and sessions drew over 1,000 registrants to the Curtis Hotel in Minneapolis for this 10-state gathering. By the end of the 70s, chapter governance was refined. The board now included a secretary, president-elect, and district chairs, and in 1979, the state bylaws were written and approved. The Star of the North newsletter premiered its first photographs and updated to a magazine format. The newsletter has played a major role in the development and success of ACDA of Minnesota.
This
ACDA of Minnesota is a busy organization, producing conferences, newsletters, festivals, clinics, workshops. It creates a myriad of choral activities throughout the state, from smaller church music seminars and junior high workshops to larger, well-known festivals. In 1986, the first male chorus project emerged at the annual November State Convention. Well received, it was inevitable that 3 years later, the treble choir project for women was initiated. Finally, in 1990, the two were combined into what is more aptly named the Combined Men's and Women's Choir Festival, that's held annually on the last Saturday in October. The North Central Division of ACDA, currently consisting of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and the Dakotas, is a powerhouse of choral talent and programs. In 1988, with 600 members, the Minnesota chapter again hosted the important North Central Convention, with renowned Swedish choral director Erik Eriksson as the headliner. Honor choirs were formed to include elementary and middle schools, junior high, and community colleges, all under the leadership of an outstanding guest director. Over 50 different honor choirs have been organized since 1988, and they continue to be one of the many resources that ACDA of Minnesota uses to encourage and nurture young singers. In the mid-1990s, ACDA Minnesota, now numbering over 700 members, saw the need to become an independent affiliated organization. This gave them financial autonomy and led to a much-needed tax-exempt nonprofit status in 1996. This also coincided with a special 125th anniversary concert to honor the birth of F. Milius Christiansen, and the proceeds of the concert were used to start the F. Milius Christiansen Endowment Fund in 1997. Subsequent gifts from generous individual, corporate, and foundation donors have followed. The FMC Endowment Fund currently provides scholarships and professional development opportunities for ACDA members and works on ensuring a vibrant future for exemplary choral music in the state of Minnesota. ACDA of Minnesota has 4 other awards yet to be mentioned: the Choral Director of the Year, Outstanding Young Choral Director, and the Creative Programming and ACE Awards. Speaking of recognition, the Star of the North newsletter has been honored 9 times by ACDA nationally over the decades for its excellence and design. Its evolution followed the print industry, starting out mimeographed, moving to offset press in 1976, upgrading to a professional typeset magazine in 1979, complete with photos and advertising, and finally going to all digital in 2010. The real story here, though, is the award-winning editors who produce the design and content. Members of ACDA Minnesota have been blessed with an outstanding group of gifted communicators who have made the Star of the North a professional portal into the world of Minnesota's active choral community. The 1998 North Central Division Convention featured Maestro Robert Shaw and was the 3rd hosted by Minnesota over 3 decades. One spectacular event in ACDA Minnesota's history was the 6th World Symposium on Choral Music in 2002. Co-hosted with the International Federation for Choral Music, 27 choirs from around the world performed at Orchestra Hall and other Twin City locations. It was an unforgettable event for the enthralled audience and global performers, and quite the honor for ACDA of Minnesota, the only place it's been held in the United States to date among its global venues. To honor the 135th birthday of F. Milius Christiansen in 2006, 2 special concerts were produced featuring 5 Minnesota collegiate choirs. In 2009, the Minnesota Collegiate Choral Festival brought together another 5 of our state's finest college choirs under the baton of Craig Jessup and featured a special commissioned work by Eric William Barnum. Commissioning choral works has been an important part of the opportunities this chapter creates. To date, some 37 original works have been co-sponsored with MMEA for its annual All-State Choir program. And in 2011, ACDA Minnesota launched a new annual commissioning project for its own state honor choirs. So 50 years have flown by, and membership in ACDA of Minnesota is currently about 750 strong. There are so many dedicated and distinguished individuals who make up this talented organization, we'd need days to honor them properly. So let's just close by looking at a few more memories and enjoy the music of the human voice that brings us all together.
As we celebrate ACDA's 50th anniversary, we celebrate America's strong legacy and pride for exemplary choral music.